I was here in the 80s. Max Stafford Clark was artistic director, and that was the year that I think the Arts Council were threatening to remove the subsidy. I'm not sure, I can't remember whether they'd actually implemented it or were threatening to pull it. And so it was a tough time for Max. It was a time of fundraising with buckets. I always remember that we used to have the curtain call, and then the house lights would go up, and then we would take it in turns to beg. We would beg from the stage. And we all hated it, but we had to do it. So Max would come round before the show and say, "You're it tonight."
Who made the most money?
I think who made the most? I think Alan Corduna. Alan Corduna may have made the most money. Or no, Fred Molina was pretty charming too. He got people to dig in their pockets. I'd always loved the work here. I thought it was the most beautiful theatre to sit in at the time, having not walked the stage, but I'd always loved the work here. And I was doing a production of Saved. I was playing Lenny in Saved that Di Trevis was directing, and I wrote to Max Stafford Clark, and he didn't know me from, a sausage roll. But I wrote to him and said, I'm doing this play, having no idea that they were planning the Bond season. I mean, I had no idea. I'm in Saved. I love your work. I would really like you to see mine. And he did. He came, he saw me, and he cast me in Rat in the Skull. So I say to young actors out there, due diligence, do your thing. Never hurts to put a few words down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he must have probably sat at his desk here, read my letter, and cast me. So it was.
It does make a difference.
You gotta. Now they call it networking, don't
Yeah.
they? But I mean, it was in those days. It was just sort of getting your letters out.
Yeah.
And it was my dream. It was my ambition to work here, and then discovered what a joy it was to be the other side, to play the theatre.
Yeah.
It's my favourite. It's incredibly intimate. I think it's unique. You can be big, you can be epic, and you can be very small and intimate, and it holds both. And not all theatres allow you to do that. I mean, some of them are like aircraft hangars. I mean, some of them are like barns, that you have to play. Here you can. I mean, dare I say it? It's television or film. You can be really subtle here. And the acoustics are amazing. So you're not declaiming, all that sort of. You can do Shakespeare here, and you know what it's like when you go to one of those big spaces. The first moment they come out, "Banner shed, my lord," and and you go,
Yeah.
"Oh God, here we go." It's just visceral. It's, just a great space to play. I get emotional getting out of the cab. Looking up at the building, because it was such a wonderful time here.
Yeah.
I know you spoke to Leslie Manville.
Yeah.
And we met here,
Amazing.
and Max was a doll.
Yeah.
Just a
Brilliant man.
brilliant director. I learned a great deal from him, and have applied it in my later work. A game changer, I think, would have been Top Girls, a seminal play. For my own experience of watching a play here, I'd have to say, I sadly, it was not a new play, but it was Jonathan Pryce as Hamlet. It was mind-blowing. And that performance, they did away with the ghost. So he conjured the ghost up like The Exorcist, like a voice coming through him. It was, yeah, and I remember that like it was yesterday. Anyone has come through those doors downstairs. I don't think there's an actor or actress worth their chops that's sort of not been here. Well, that says something about the place.
Yeah.
Really and truly, some of the best nights in the theatre that I've spent have been here. And I don't know, I had a weird thing happen to me. In the Pope's wedding. I got incredibly emotional, and I couldn't. It was, and I don't know whether it was just the thing of playing a character who was very shut down emotionally, and either bottling it up or it was denying what was really what was kind of going on. And one night I just burst into absolutely uncontrollable sobs. I couldn't stop, so I made it part of the play. No one noticed. It's amazing, isn't it? It's always gone.
It's true.
It's always like,
You've gone through hell on stage. No one even knows. Interesting choice.
yeah, like apologising. Sorry about that. What?
Yeah. It was meant to be part of it. God.
I remember seeing through the curtain, a little gap like that in the assemblies. Do you still have those?
Yeah, we do.
And there was Leslie in the assembly, and she was looking at me, and there was just a bit of light catching her face, and she went, "Okay." I mean, it's not something you're going to forget.
What's your wish for the Royal Court for the next 60 years?
I just think you're going to be doing great, doing the same thing. I mean, you've got a building, you've got an arena for these stories that is going to stick around. If the Royal Court didn't exist, I wouldn't either.